that I'm looking at, and I only have the experience of the city when I was a layperson before I got up here was having problems often I would hear about problems with construction. Then the first construction project that came across my agenda was filled with inaccuracies and bias or slants that I had to, and I argued with the staff and they told me that I didn't understand government and that the contractor came in under budget. And then I found out under budget was $650 a foot. So of course they came in under budget. I don't think anyone except Walt Disney would have the imagination to be able to come in higher than $650 a foot, have that imagination. So I think maybe we ought to think about an outside auditing company or some other person that's not, maybe they're answerable to the city commission as opposed to, and they answer to us, that can look at some of these things and eyeball them and keep track. Or else we get a promise from staff or the city manager that we are going to work in the direction of, because the lesson I learned from the Normandy was don't believe anything that's in my staff book and to go have experts look at it. That was the lesson I learned.
Yeah, Ed, but I think that's too broad an overgeneralization. I'm sorry, with all due respect.
Sure.
If you can't trust your staff book, then who are you going to trust?
Well, I trust the community that came in and told me.
But they don't always have the facts either, Commissioner.
Okay.
They only have half the story. We may have half the story, and somewhere in the middle is where the truth may lie. But to allege that what's in your book is fiddled with or misrepresenting the facts, I take offense to that. I'm sorry.
I hope that you do take offense to it, because when it comes to capital improvement projects in this city, I don't think that the community is getting the whole story. And I think that there's a prime example, which was the Normandy, and I'll bet if we hired an outside auditing company to take a look at this, we'd probably find the same thing. So if you thought that this city has a good track record in regards to construction, then I'm out of line. But I know that the South Shore...
No, Commissioner, I think what is out of line is you're alleging that because you might have found one mistake, that everything else lacks credibility. I think that's out of line, and I'm sorry to tell you that.
Okay, well, there's a saying, falsum unum falsum omnibus.
May I call the...
I don't think this is...
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a saying, falsum unum falsum omnibus, which says if you lied, basically, if you tell me a falsehood one time, I'm not going to believe you the second time.
Okay, but
and in the last report,
the word to lie implies a willful intent to mislead. I don't believe anybody here has ever willfully intended to mislead you or anybody up here or this community.
Well,
and I think that that's a fact.
Okay, well, then I would, if you would like to concede they are incompetent, then I would take incompetency rather than false. I'm sorry, it's millions of dollars. We're talking about 40% extra on this project, and we were talking about millions of dollars on the last project. And if we went back for 2 years, we'd find maybe $10 million. And in a budget cut year, and the city's not going to live off the fat of all the money that we've lived off of and been able to double and triple the budget over the last years.
Okay,
it's going to be lean times, and we can't waste money.
Let's move on, because this is not.
I don't think.
Something that it's.
Well, I would like to ask Ed. I mean, is there anything in the write-up that you see that you've read on the Venetian Isles project, Belle Isle, that makes you think that either it's inaccurate or misrepresented? Or
Saul, I, as well as you, get my agenda on Friday night, like all of us.